You are blessed. Why? Because I have the best player prop and there's two Monday night football games, okay? We have Eagles, Vikings, and we have Bills, Titans. And I'm going to be taking you through the best player props out there. So let's go ahead, let's get into it. We'll start out by just taking a look at the odds. Eagles, 2.5 point spread favorites. Lines, though, have been moving towards the Minnesota Vikings. You can see the Eagles are best offered at minus 128. Best line on the Vikings is plus 124. Okay, so as a sharp bettor, you have to be browsing odds, right? You have to be browsing odds. And for any sport you want to bet on, that is completely free with OddsJam. College football, NFL, whatever. Baseball, if you still bet on baseball this time of year, yeah, sure, you can look at baseball odds. But anyways, let's go to the total. The total you can see is set at 50, 50 and a half, or 51, depending on the sports book. And what I will mention is this is what I mean by finding value, right? If you're placing bets on the total at an OU of 50 and a half, when other sports books have the total set at 50, doesn't matter if they're in your location or not, you're screwed, right? Why are you screwed? Because you're getting terrible prices. If you're betting the over-under at 50 and a half, when other sportsbooks in the market, regardless of if you have them in your location, are set at 50, you are never going to make money sports betting. And the reason is, if you think about it, right, you've probably heard this a million times. It's very common knowledge from, sports bettors, is sportsbooks charge minus 110, minus 110 juice, right? That's the most common juice, minus 110, minus 110. You have to bet $11 to win back 10 for both the over and the under. So what that means is you just looking at an odds converter calculator will tell you you have to win 52.4% of your point spread or total bets to break even, right? And if it's juiced minus 115, minus 105, you can kind of figure it out just using an odds converter calculator. But when you're betting at minus 110 on spreads, total, sides, whatever you want to call it, you have to be winning 52.4% of the time to break even. So pros, the pro bettors, the sharps, people who do this full time for a living like myself, they're winning 55% of the time on spreads, on totals. Recreational bettors are winning 50% of the time. Like literally every time the game's going to go over or under. So a horse could get 50%, right? Like it's not hard to get 50%. It's just blindly picking over or under for every single game. So that difference between 50 to 55% is the difference between someone who bets on sports full time for a living and somebody who goes broke sports betting, right? So you have to be looking for spots with value, such as when you're betting on the total, finding spots where you're cashing if other people aren't, right? If you take the over 50 here, and this isn't the bet I'm on, it's not like I think this is an amazing bet, but when most people are betting over under 50 and a half, that's a value bet, right? Because if there's 51 points in the game or 50 points in the game, better said, if there's 50 points in the game, you're pushing, everyone else is losing their bet, right? And that will help you go from winning on point spreads and totals 50% of the time to 55% of the time, is finding spots with value where you're winning when people betting on other books are losing because they didn't line shop, they didn't get the best price in their location. So browse odds on OddsJam. It's completely free, any sport. So that's the Eagles-Vikings game. Next game we want to go to is Bills-Titans. I actually like this, I bet this, but that's not the point of this video. Titans plus 400. Pretty good value. You can see, the Titans are best offered at plus 400. Best line on the Bills is minus 400. So the Bills are roughly 80% to win this game, right? They're an 80% favorite according to betting markets. Now, what you'll notice is the Betfair exchange has very tight market width, right? This is a peer-to-peer betting exchange. So as you get closer to game time, there will be thousands and hundreds of thousands of dollars being bet on the NFL and the Betfair exchange. So it's a very good source of information in what the line should be set at because it takes so much betting volume, right? It's not like a sports book where you're betting against the house. With exchanges, you're betting against other people, right? So the Betfair exchange is the biggest exchange in the world, super liquid, super active. So what this tells us, and the reason I like betting on the Titans plus 400, and I hammer that bet, plus 400, is because Betfair Exchange is only giving us plus 380. We're getting 20 cents of improvement, and the Betfair market only has 20 cents in width. So as a sharp bettor, clearly the bet's good to the Betfair Exchange. Betting on the Titans plus 400 looks incredible to bet online, right? The no vig odds, if we go to the no vig odds from Bet Online, so they're giving you plus 350 for the Bills, minus 430, or plus 350 on the Titans, minus 430 on the Bills. That's the market on Bet Online. Once you remove the vig, the true price is plus 365. So this bet looks incredible to Bet Online, Betfair Exchange, and basically every sports book. Plus 400 is really, really, really good value on the Titans, okay? But anyways, I have a player prop bet. So let's get into it. So my player prop bet is going to be a positive EV bet, right? Positive EV bets just mean there's a mathematical edge, right? OddsJam has millions of odds on the site, updating every second kind of in real time. So what the positive EV tool does is it constantly is scanning the markets, looking for spots with value. So I'll give you an example of one right here, right? Like here's an example of a good one. Let's take a look. This UFC fight, this guy's minus 108. No other sportsbook's giving us better than minus 115. Pinnacle and Bet Online, two of the sharpest bookmakers in the world, pricing this at minus 125 and minus 121 respectively. We're getting minus 108. Seems pretty good, right? The zero vig line is minus 112 once you remove the juice. So every single bet has a mathematical edge on the positive EV betting tool. Does that mean the bet is guaranteed to win? Of course not, right? At OddsJam, we try to focus, unlike most sports betting channels, on non-BS and data. And not every bet wins. It's not the point, right? When your bets have an edge over the sportsbook, you're guaranteed to make money in the long run due to the law of large numbers, but not every bet wins. That's impossible, right? So we're looking for bets with an edge over the sportsbook, such as, there's a lot of Betfair Exchange, so you can ignore that. But such as this line looks like it moved already because I haven't refreshed yet. But T. Higgins plus 118 over 4.5 receptions is an example of a good value bet. We're getting plus 118. No other sportsbook's giving us better than plus 104. Seems pretty good, right? This seems like a bet we may want to place because we're getting odds above the true price. This one's even better, right? Tight market width, looks incredible. But anyways, the play I'm going with is right here. Diggs under 74.5 receiving yards. I hit it for $125. You can see my bet right here. Diggs under 74.5 receiving yards. So the bet has a 4.27% profit margin. We're staking 125. So my bet has $5 in EV, 534. This bet is worth $534. If you tried to give me a $5 bill, I wouldn't give you my bet because my bet has a mathematical profit margin of $534. In other words, placing bets at a 4.27% edge over the course of the long run is going to return you 4.27% return on capital, but you need to place enough bets, right? You need a large sample size of bets. And why is this bet so good? I mean, just look at the odds on other sports books. DraftKings and Pinnacle are both pricing this as a coin flip. Minus 115, minus 115. We're getting plus 110 on Caesars. When the two other sports books that currently have lines up for this have this at minus 115, right? So the positive EV tool constantly scans the market and tells you, hey, here's the sports book that's screwing up right now in the value, right? A lot of value at plus 110. So Pinnacle, you can see their market was minus 115, minus 115. So obviously, Diggs is going to go over or under, right? He can't have both over and under 74.5 receiving yards. So because DraftKings and Pinnacle are giving you the same odds, the same price on both the over and the under, that means these sports books think both the over and the under are equally likely to occur, which is 50%, right? The over is 50%, the under is 50%. So we're getting something where we're betting 100 to win 110 in profit, where we're winning that bet 50% of the time. So an $100 bet has 5% EV, roughly, if Pinnacle is correct. But again, the OddsJam model is kind of waiting all odds in the market based on sportsbook accuracy. But long story short, the whole point is it shows you the biggest pricing discrepancies where you really have an edge as a sports bettor. Diggs under 74.5 receiving yards, pretty great value. So I hope you enjoyed this video, and hopefully Diggs goes under. There's a lot of value in this play currently at plus 110 odds on Caesars. Let's make money.